Welcome back, Dale. Welcome back, Alicia. So waiting on everybody else. Let me send this to John. You missed the first one. Send this over to the tour. I wanted to try to play some videos. I'm still looking for stuff that I could put on here.
Alicia.
Yeah.
I'm finally getting my house together. I got up off my ass. I finally bought some couches. I told you about it, didn't I?
Yes.
I had to find something that fit me. I was being too picky.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with wanting what you want now.
Yeah, I
don't believe it. I don't believe in saying things you too picky about nothing. You know, people work hard for the shit that they got, so you get what you want.
I don't.
Yeah. And it was like I wanted everything to match perfectly because I have a theme in my head. I already painted my walls one color. So it's like orange and silver. So I had to find some silver gray couches, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then I wanted to match my little picture up there, that my elephant that's silver and orange.
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
You know, it's a good place to go. Well, and that's how I decorated my living room. Pinterest. Pinterest has a lot of good ideas for like colors and pillows and just different funky stuff.
That you know what I do like that, and I do like weird stuff because it's like, you know how it's like a dome.
We already know you like weird shit by the fact that you got that raccoon around your throat.
Well, you see my little beads and stuff?
Uh-huh.
Now, this room is one color, and then that color is beige over there with a red accent wall.
Okay, but we're not going to address that shit that's around your neck.
How many squirrels must die for me to look fly?
I'm just saying, what raccoon did you beat up to throw around your neck?
I be on TikTok talking shit with my shit just like this. I don't give a fuck. I don't know what this is. I don't know what the hell this is. This might be Barilla. I don't really care, but I just like how it feels.
Oh, I'm just saying. I just felt I had to say something about it. We can leave it alone, but I just was irritated that y'all sitting here talking like y'all don't see what's going on this robe she got on.
I feel royal as fuck in this thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
You look like
shit.
You look like Miss Pearly.
That's all right. That's all right. Because you know what she say, bitch. I know somebody who likes it. Shit, I took this from my mom. I was like, give me that. I love this thing. It's so warm.
What's wrong with that? That's cool. I mean,
right. 70 degrees here.
Like for real with my robe on. I don't give a fuck.
I'm just saying. I mean, I ain't saying take it off, and then I was just irritated that Kennard and Will was just letting it go on, and wasn't nobody saying nothing about it.
Hey, let me say about that.
Virgos come straight to the point. What the fuck do you got on your neck? You know.
Right, I was waiting, and I saw wasn't nobody gonna say something, so I had to.
Look, you done talked about it, made me hot and uncomfortable. Shit. Let me open it up.
Don't take it out. I just want to know what was going on with it. I want to know what was going on. It was bothering me, and they wasn't saying nothing.
This my squirrel. This my little squirrel right here.
Okay. I'm gonna leave your squirrel alone. I had to ask.
Check out the wrist though.
Yeah, I saw the wrist. Do the pockets? Do the pockets got that trim on there too?
No, but they deep though. I be having everything in here. Like shit. I love it. I do.
Oh man.
Especially in this weather. I got a summer robe, but this is my winter robe because it's thick and cuddly and it just hugged me. I'm cozy.
You ain't got to give us no explanation. Ain't nothing wrong with your robe, Evan.
Ain't nothing wrong with being warm. I mean, hell, it's the winter time around here.
That's what I'm know.
Oh, I thought he was about to say Jack. I swear I thought he was about to say Jack.
You niggas ain't gonna say Jack.
Look, I done been up there and I done stole one of my mama's, but this is what I'm drinking tonight.
Oh, the High Life?
Life.
Ah, yeah.
It matched the robe.
What?
Yep. I wish I had some goddamn Coke 45 and a cool.
Hey, no,
Ooh, baby.
That's the shit there.
Billy D.
And people was talking about OE. And
And
y'all was talking about OE.
that's the champagne.
OE good.
I bought some of that recently just for nostalgia. That shit, man.
OE is good.
Shit, that shit.
But see, I only got this because my mama, my mom got it and it was free. I like Stella's.
Oh, Stella Rose.
Stella,
Stella
yeah.
Artois.
Stella Artois.
That one, yeah.
Alicia, I started drinking them when we was going to them dinners. Remember the drug reps just throw those dinners?
Girl, we said good food. It would be downtown.
We got
eating.
good food, good drinks. We be fucked up trying to get back on the train going home. Shit, that's why I had my first filet mignon. Shit.
She said filet mignon. She said filet.
Yeah. We started leaving her at home after that.
Shit. We would be fucked up on that train because all of it was free.
Oh,
and one thing, you only get one serving of food, so you just start drinking the liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Speaking of which, just so y'all know, Mika not gonna make it in tonight. She's feeling tired, from work. Totally understandable because I know I had a hell of a day today, and she'll be back next week. So yeah, we'll catch up, on the next one, and that's cool. I understand completely. It was a monster day after the holiday, man. It was bad, but hey, it is what it is. Got to do something to make some money,
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. and you know what? I knew I would have put my vacation this week if I'd have knew this shit was coming. If I'd have really thought that it was a holiday, I didn't know it was a holiday. So I did my shit the week before, and I got yesterday off. I've been off like 11 days. You know what I'm saying? But
so you didn't know how to act to come back to work. That's what your problem was.
Yeah,
you forgot what work looked like.
I don't know. Yeah, shit. I was slow. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was doing all type of shit. I just taking extra smoke breaks and I was just out of rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Because you come back and you got all this smell. So it's like, damn, shit. But tomorrow I'll be a lot better. Usually the day after the holidays.
Got to get back into the swing of it.
I mean, I ain't tripping on it. I've been doing this shit for a while. It's just next year, if I take off around this time, I'm gonna be sure that I'm off the week of this shit.
President's Day.
Huh?
You can look at the calendar now and see.
I got one right here. Right here.
For 2023?
No, I ain't got the 23 one. But I got one.
All you gotta do is Google.
With me, Alicia, with my
all you gotta do is
offer, Alicia.
Google President's Day 2023 and it'll give you the date, and then you can just go ahead and put it in that so you don't even got to worry about it, Kennard.
You gotta put. They ain't gonna let you put no shit in a year ahead. We don't know. You gotta be a couple months. So that's what I'm saying. I usually keep my shit up like that, but it just didn't register. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like how you got King birthday off, right? Okay, typically you get that day or something like that. But
I'm saying not in healthcare. Like we don't get President's Day or King's Day. We don't get that shit.
We don't get that off.
Y'all get the 4th?
Yeah. Well, okay. It depends. Like you'll get that. It depends on where it falls. Because if it falls on the Saturday, you might get that Friday or that Monday off. You may not. Well, no, you may get that Friday off, but you may not get a day off if it falls on the Saturday because you already had Sunday off.
Right.
So it just depends on how they do stuff now.
Because see, where I work at, we open 365 7 days a week, so we don't get no holidays off. We work Christmas, New Year's, the 4th of July, Memorial Day. We don't close.
Yeah. And at the University of Chicago, their clinics, like the day after Thanksgiving, they usually give you that day off and pay you. Mm-hmm. They're requiring people either to show up at work or take a date, one of your days for the day after Thanksgiving. Like it's treacherous out here.
Wow. Yeah.
They cutting back. That's all.
That's why I'm trying my best to get now they playing with me because they offer me they move me up as I got the job, but now I'm waiting. They bullshitting with my offer letter because I'm waiting on that offer letter to put my 2 weeks in with this place.
Did they give you a time frame on when they give you the letter?
The offer he told me Friday that I should hear about it early this week.
Okay.
But I consider early this week, Monday, Tuesday, because tomorrow midweek, goddamn it, and I want to know. I'm sick of this place.
I know that's right. Shit.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Shit, make a move. Shit, you already got it.
Yeah.
2 weeks, you know, and then you can clear with the new gig and say, hey, you know, I want to get them 2 weeks, whatever. They shouldn't have no issues with it, and there you go.
Because legally, you don't have to do that. I found that out. Legally, you don't even have to give a job 2 weeks. It's just a courtesy.
It is a courtesy, right? And
you always want to do that because you don't want to. You
Right.
don't never know when you want to either come back or you may need them for a reference. So
Right.
Exactly.
you always want to give them that 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
you don't want to do nothing without no offer letter anyway. So as long as they jagging that offer letter, you don't want to say shit to nobody about nothing. Because
Exactly.
until you get that
Hell
offer
yeah.
letter, you ain't got no another job.
Job for real. You still at your current.
would the offer letter include a start date in there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because if it
Yeah,
didn't,
your start date, how much they're gonna pay you, and that you actually have the job. So
Yep.
yeah, that's real. That's real. Because I tell you what, when I had Comcast, I was trying to get over there. Man, that shit was like, fuck. I went to the interview like January or some shit. I didn't get a fucking start date till like July or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck? Now what if I'd have quit? Just let's just say, what if I'd have quit my job, which I wouldn't have, but let's just say I did. That mean that'd have been what, a half a year? You see,
know better for next time.
Right,
and you wouldn't have got unemployment because you quit your job.
Right. You fucked in the game. Like,
well, you know, you can quit that's a misconception. You can quit a job and collect unemployment.
How?
You can say you had a hostile work environment. You can say that you didn't have transportation to get there. Your circumstances have changed, and so you're not financially able to meet. So you can still get unemployment when you lose your job. You can only not when you quit. You can only not get it if you get fired for stuff like you get caught doing some shit you ain't got no business doing. But even you collect unemployment. You collect unemployment and quit. You can collect unemployment and quit and just say you moved out of town. You relocated.
I wouldn't never
thought take care of a family member.
They fought me.
At least you say trust me. And she don't want to get you them plants too.
Shit, I wouldn't have got about.
You don't be telling all my business over
my bad.
Internet.
She said, "Get them coffee cans and let's go."
It's called propagating.
Forger. Yeah.
Propagating. That's the correct white term. Propagating. They say it. They propagate a lot of stuff.
Okay, so we talking about this.
Right, I'm learning something too today.
I didn't know that. I
Me either. I didn't know that either.
No, that's what it's. That's the proper term for it. Propagating a plant is when you tear off a piece of plant and put it in water and you grow a whole nother plant.
No, I'm talking about with your hand like this.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's where I got that from. I got that on TikTok.
Oh, okay. I just listened.
And they started doing it because
people.
Yeah, and they called them palm because they started getting put off because people were complaining about them calling them YT, just the Y and the T. So they started doing this or saying palm color so they wouldn't be in trouble for hate speech.
My favorite is snow possum though.
Hey, I heard this joke today. This lady said she's no longer going when white people lie, she's no longer gonna say it's a white lie. She's gonna call it a snow cap.
I seen that.
Snow. Wow.
I saw that. That was hilarious. Yo, but it's like.
Cause now you don't think that's funny.
Snow cap.
No cap. I'm just listening.
Right. I'm learning something every day.
I mean, what? I
don't know. Are you with them?
What you mean?
She think you with the people.
So now I'm a Republican, huh?
I'm asking for Ebony. She curious.
Ebony,
What? Don't wait. I'll ask already. So I mean, don't you put that on me.
and not because you're Republican, because I have a cousin that's a Republican. Real talk, I don't think black folks should be in any party because they all do the same shit. They just got a different name. Republicans and Democrats are working hand in hand to fuck us. And they just bend us over differently and they say different stuff, but the result is the same. The results are the same. So I don't have a loyalty to any party. But when I say that, just because, you know, some black folk, and not you, but some black folk had that same mentality as we were talking about the white folks in Mississippi. Like they just think that, you know, if they keep on doing some shit or they keep on proving that they're not the nigga that white folks think they are, that they're gonna get something better. And what people don't realize is you're gonna always be a nigga no matter what you do. Folks that think you a nigga gonna think you a nigga no matter what you do, because their thoughts and ideas are not based off of your actions or your deeds or anything that's tangible. It's just based off fucking racism and what they were, you know, what they were raised in.
Hey y'all, breaking news for those who follow. I think that Russia just invaded Ukraine.
I heard that.
They got
I heard that.
Today.
Yeah, I heard that.
So what is that? I mean, what do y'all think about that? Like, honestly, like I've been hearing some stuff about Putin. He supports, you know, the black people and they struggle here, blase Skippy. But I mean, I don't know. I for one, to me, I'm like, is this really our fight? Is this really our fight?
Let me ask you a question. First of all, you already know the answer to that. The shit is no. Well, who cares whether he supports the fucking plight over here or not? Because the reality of it is, whoever supports it, they ain't sent no damn help over here to help us do
at
shit.
all.
You don't hear him at the UN in conferences talking about the atrocities that are committed with slavery or the atrocities that's committed
or sanctioning America.
and what's going on now. So the fact that he feels that way, who really gives a shit? It's not our fight. It's not even our fight that they're invading the Ukraine. But once again, the United States is a fucking Karen. We gonna stick in our nose. How are we policing anybody talking about morality or fairness or equality when we got all this shit going on? Nigga, fix your house first. Your slip is showing. Pull your shit up first before you go over there trying to pull somebody else's slip up.
But to even say something like that, to even have that type of viewpoint, you know, that's just a game that they run. It was no different than Joe B ran the same shit. He come out and say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, and all this bullshit. It's the same game that they run. So black folks supposed to just jump on board. Well, see, the only reason to me the way Joe B got elected is because it was the lesser of two evils. Didn't nobody want this orange motherfucker in office. So I'll take Joe B over him.
Why don't you go make your bed then?
It wasn't like he, was a landslide.
Because if it stopped, I just throw it in the dryer. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's all right. But that's just my opinion on that, because
that's it's basically that's what it was. A lot of people didn't like Trump, so they voted for Biden. Exactly. So it was like choosing between syphilis and gonorrhea.
and he was a bad candidate by himself, but adding Kamala into it, it made it very hard. That's why Trump got as many votes as he got, because that made it much more harder for people to get behind it. Because I didn't want to vote for Biden. And then when they added Kamala in there, like,
it made it worse.
It's convenient for you. I didn't even know you AKA like all them pearls and chucks to shit. Really, you motherfuckers got all this shit on and y'all don't even know who this broad is, and she throw more us in jail than anybody. But y'all excited like that's our problem. We get excited about the wrong shit.
Long as it's black, it could be a whole fucking Crayola. Yeah, let's go out here and party.
And when you look at what they've actually done, the shit that they promised the black community as opposed to shit they've done absolutely nothing. Biden's first 100 days, that motherfucker said he cannot address the racial disparities going on because he had to handle the COVID vaccine. And we circle back with him now. He still ain't did shit. We still got the same shit going on.
Well, he got to deal with Russia now.
Well, we ain't got to deal with shit. Because Russia's not our business.
He part of the UN. He got to help sanction it. So black lives got to push back. Give him 6 months before he get out of office.
You don't have to be the leader of the shit. You know what I'm saying?
First of all, they're going to get involved because war is money.
Yep.
Let's be clear. The United States don't give a shit about morality and nothing else. But when they get into war, it's money. It's money. They put a lot of money into defense when you talk about military. They're gonna send them over there so they can get some more damn money. And they're gonna use their friends, Halliburton and all them, to go over there and contract to do some shit too.
Yep.
It's a money
They gonna
game.
build
So we
all
gonna get
those
involved because
roads and all that
yeah,
over there. And
it's
then
money to be
all our
made.
roads and shit fucked up over here.
And who's
Oh,
paying,
I know how it
So
goes.
I saw
paying
a
for the
meme once,
war?
right? And on this meme, it said, breaking news. Something was discovered in Egypt. It was some type of like oil or something like that, or gold was discovered. And then it's the eagle saying, looks like Egypt needs some freedom. Because, that's what they claim. Once they discover a resource, all of a sudden the people are in such dire straits, they got to come over and invade and shit.
Yeah, but the beauty of Egypt is that Egyptians don't live there no more. So,
oh my God.
That's a disadvantage.
I just
well,
went
I
through
mean, but
that.
that's
It
an
was some,
advantage
it was
because
some
they're
Arabs from Egypt arguing, talking about that they've been there and that they the natives and all of that. I'm like, that's bullshit. I said, y'all can do that DNA shit if you want to and talk about Middle East and North Africa. All of that was Africa at a point of time. I said the Arabs were invaders. Then somebody, well, they were Levant and they were indigenous. I said, the Levant people came from Asia. So how the fuck Asia get to Africa? So no, they weren't the original people. They migrated. So you mean it, or unless you think it was just empty over there and they said, we're going to stay here.
but they separated. If you look at how they talk about Egypt in comparison to Africa, or even like Morocco, they separate those from Africa. So when they talk about Egypt, you would think that they're talking about something separate from Africa as opposed to Egypt being part
all
of
the
Africa.
northern states they do that
Right.
all the time.
Right. But the way they talk about it, it would give you the impression that they're not even connected. They're not even in Africa, and they do that purposefully because the Middle Easterns, they came into Egypt. Those folks are in there now. Those are not the original Egyptians, and you can tell by the way that they look that they're not Egyptian. They're not.
How the fuck y'all look just like the motherfuckers like a few thousand miles to the east, but y'all indigenous, y'all are natives. It makes no fucking sense.
They'll sell it to you and they'll sit up there and tell you that aliens built the Sphinx and the pyramids and everything like this. And then, the problem I got, like when we talk about like, and I used to have all this great admiration for Egypt and I still kind of do. But as far as like Egypt and Morocco, and when you talk about like with the Moors and you think about the slave trade, that Black folks are always talking about slavery, but some of us aren't aware that Black folks, in particular Moors, were selling slaves. That's something that we need to bring to the forefront. So a lot of people will draw back and say, oh, we were Moors, we were kings, we were this and that. But see, you got to look at it this way. And just look at it from a layman's term. When we think about, then this is my theory. Okay. When we think about Egypt, the motherfuckers that had the money, they wasn't building shit. They were dictating, telling, no, you build this. You work for me, you build this. Same thing with the Moors, okay? The Moors is known for bringing, England and everybody over there out of the so-called Dark Ages. So they was over there being nasty and shitting all over each other, pissing all over each other and this and that. And they put them on all these different sciences and this, that, and the third. Okay, but they were also involved in the slave trade. Like if you see, like a good example with Christopher Columbus, if he existed, because I wasn't there, I can't prove it. But if he in fact existed, and you see little Black motherfuckers on the ship with him, and there are depictions of that, those are Moors. And it makes good sense from a business perspective. See, it was always the same. None of this shit is new. The rich fuck with the rich. It didn't make a difference what color you was, okay? The European motherfuckers was like the last ones on the slave trade. The Arabs and the Moors were selling slaves.
But the atrocities committed by were different than Moors and Arabs. The way that they handled slaves and what it meant to actually be a slave was different. Slavery was wrong, period, right? But what did was atrocious, and it lasted for 400 years. And when you talk about the Moors, when you talk about the Arabs, when you talk about any other group of people that did that, these people right here, even when you have, because there were Blacks there were Moors on the ship with Columbus, but none of them, this one, said that he discovered something that was already there. This one did that, right? This one had a whole day named after him from discovering America, how you discover something that's already there. These are the same people that have taken over Africa. These are the same people that had us believing that Africa was a jungle. They, you know, even these people, when you talk about Greeks and Romans and how they, you know, when you read books and talk about how they're the father of civilization, how they started Plato and Socrates and philosophy and psychology and all that other shit, they give no credit to the Moors that built universities over there, that actually taught them astrology, medicine. Like when these folks talk about what was created, they created this. They don't consider the Moors, and you don't see the Moors. You don't hear the Moors claiming or colonizing anything that they didn't touch. But these people claim everything that they didn't touch because they essentially destroyed everything. So I think that it's important that we talk about those things, but it's also important to recognize that their idea of slavery and what a slave was and what they did with slaves was not the same thing. They didn't bend men over and fuck them in the ass like in front of their family. They didn't do that.
Sure
right?
didn't.
They didn't boil people down.
To me, that's always like a racist talking point. Well, blacks sold blacks into slavery. The thing is the system of slavery was so different.
I think it's a fair discussion. I think it's a fair discussion to say that happened. I think it's fair discussion to say that Black people had slaves, because we do need to talk about the fact that
we do.
It happened, but it wasn't the same. But
the difference is between the slavery system that was in place. I'm not saying that it was right. I'm not saying that it was always 100%. It was shitty, but it was not as shitty as chattel slavery, which is what, as like you say, the palm colored people forced us into.
But you can't. But I get what Kanar is saying. Like you can't talk about
servitude.
But you can't talk about one without acknowledging
that existed.
Like, it happened, right?
So that's what I'm saying. So we can't just sit up here. We have to look at ourselves because we played a part in too. And it's not to justify what white folks did. We never justify that. I never would in a million years. We know the shit they did was fucked up, but we can't sit up there. We have to look at ourselves too, because we were involved with the Italians and with the Greeks and all these other people, and selling out our own people as well. That's the facts, and we still do it today. It never changed.
But when you even go back, like we participated in the slave trade. Yes. Not the transatlantic slave trade. We did participate in it. But when those Black folks found out what was actually going on in the transatlantic, they stopped, and that's when them started killing all them folks, because they stopped. That when they found out what they were actually doing to us over here, they said, no, we not participate, because again, their idea of slavery was not what them palm color people was doing. And I think it's very important for us to talk about the every aspect of slavery, whether it was, however different it was slavery was slavery. And at some point we participated in it. But the atrocities that they put on us, the raping of our men and women, the killing of our children, feeding us to alligators, boiling us and eating us, like all of those things, like those things were not done anywhere else. But, and so I'm going to assume that have a disease, that's a problem. And when you like, and how they turn it around, because when you, I don't know if you remember like watching cartoons growing up, like Bugs Bunny and Spike, like that was the most racist shit, but you didn't know that as a child. How they used to, I don't know if y'all remember that cartoon where they had all these, they were in the jungle and they had all these big lip ass Africans around this fire, and they had this pot, and they had the fire in the pot, and they was getting ready to cook people. Yep. And whenever you think about cannibalism from growing up, you think about Black folks eating people. Mm-hmm. Black folks ain't never eat people. That was white folks eating people, but they take they
call the delectable Negro in different ways to eat us and shit. They was grinding up and eating mummies and snorting them and shit.
Trust me. Shows you that there's a lot of Nat
Turner. They ate a lot of Nat Turner. Like seriously,
they ate him, made purses out of him, took bones and made but Nat Turner is not the only one that they've done it to. And so I guess my thing is this: like slavery is bad, no matter who did it.
Right.
It was most atrocious here because of what they did, because even with the Moors, like they may have had you quarantined off somewhere, but you still had your language, you still had your, you know, your culture. Like when you come over here, like really speaking, like all of us are different colors. We wouldn't, if we went over to Africa right now, we wouldn't know where to go, right? We wouldn't know what language we spoke. We wouldn't know what clothing depicts our ancestors. Like we have no more than what America has given us. That's it. And that's an atrocity that surpasses everything else, because we are stolen people who have no name, no language, no culture, no food. Like we don't have shit. Everything that we've had to kind of innovate because they've taken it from us. Right. And that's something totally different than what the Moors did.
Well, you know, speaking of Moors, and I wanted to do this presentation. I actually made a ton of notes, and this was like right around, we got 10 minutes. I don't want to do it now. I'm going to probably do this one on my own, but it's about St. Nicholas. And I wrote all these notes here. Y'all probably can't see them. And I wrote it front and back. Don't ask me why, but this presentation that I did want to do, it ties in with a particular Moor. I don't know if anybody had heard of him. His name is Black Pete. Anybody ever heard of the term Black Pete?
No. You know what? Vaguely.
Okay.
But I can't remember the story.
I could probably pull up an image of a Black Pete to kind of refresh your memory, because I know Eb definitely saw this one before. I can guarantee that. And Black Pete and St. Nicholas. Now, St. Nicholas we know is Santa Claus, right?
Right.
Okay. So now there was a
not in real life.
Okay, but there was an actual St. Nicholas in real life.
Right.
Okay.
Right, but he wasn't. What I'm saying is St. Nicholas was not essentially. He wasn't Santa Claus.
Okay, fair enough. But going into who St. Nicholas was, I do have a presentation I want to put together, because a lot of all this stuff ties in. Now, we were talking about what Alicia just said, as far as, you know, we only basically got what they gave us here. And that's not by coincidence either, because from my research, we do know that, well, I can't speak for all Moors, but this Moor in particular had a big part into changing Black folks' religion. Black Pete. And Black Pete was also a Moor, just to reiterate. He had a particular role in that as well, and so did St. Nicholas. When you go into the Council of Nicaea, St. Nicholas sat on that council, and the whole thing was to bring this new religion, or a monotheistic deity by way of Christianity. So Christianity at this time was a fairly new religion. You see what I'm saying? But prior to that, Africa and all the other countries within the continent were all polytheistic. But this man here, and see, this is what I was going into before, as far as the rich work with the rich. You see what I'm saying? The rich can do a lot, and they've always been able to do a lot, because they always target the poor. You know, if they come and they give you, you know, a couple of things, like good example in this thing, one thing I remember, like a lot of the Christmas, it's really tripped out, and it's gonna probably take me a while to organize it, but I'm gonna do this presentation because people need to hear this shit. But what they would do is they would come to poor people and just give them shit in order for them to accept Jesus as a supreme deity, if you will. Because prior to that, he wasn't deified. Now, him and Black Pete, this is what they would do. They couldn't come to rich people with this game. Rich people, they didn't give a fuck. No, we ain't going with that. We gonna do what we want to do. But poor people, if you bribe them with some food, if you bribe them with maybe a couple of dollars, a couple of gifts, they'll do whatever you want them to do. And the same thing is happening today. It never changed. So when I look at this presentation that I'm gonna put together, this shit was happening, what, 700 years ago? And it never stopped. It never stopped. So it's just something that I've been putting off forever, because the thing with the Moors is that the Moors had access to ships. So when you see Christopher Columbus on a ship, him being an Italian, we know the Moors did make stops in Italy. We know that. We know they was working with people in Italy. So all of this stuff kind of ties together. No different than St. Nicholas, if I'm not mistaken, was Italian.
But you also have to remember though, like what you said is true. Like they still do that today. They offer poor people stuff to do experiments and all kind of shit on them because they're poor and they're needy.
Right.
But if you think about like Catholicism and Christianity, you have to consider when they did the what did they call those, when they were like killing people that just did not believe what they believed. Like that was a part of that too. Like that they went on a whole rampage. If you didn't believe what they believed, they were like fucking killing you. And
with that
was the Catholics. Right. That was it was called the Christian Crusades. The Christian Crusades, when they were killing everybody that didn't believe what they believed in. And I mean, but if you look at it now, like it's still kind of the same thing. Like people, we are a people. This society, I think it's worse now. We have no tolerance for difference, right? We have no respect. Like I don't have to agree with you. I don't have to believe what you believe in order for us to get along. I don't have to, I can say, okay, well, I'm a Muslim and you're a Christian. We don't believe the same thing, right? But I can respect you, period. I can respect the fact that you're a Christian because that's what you are. And we can move past that. Like when we try to tell people they going to hell, like who is any of us to, like, last time I checked, God didn't need no help. So how you telling me where I'm going and how? Like you don't know where you're going. So how you telling me where I'm going? And you have to be mindful of people that are, I always say that anybody that says they serve God, I look at their actions, right? Because whatever God you serve, any God that you serve that tells you to be rude to people, that be mean, to be obnoxious, even with gay people, like I understand the religion says homosexuality is wrong, but that's not for you to point out. Because so is gluttony, so is adultery, so is fornication, so is a whole lot of other things. So who are you to tell somebody they going to hell or to talk crazy to them? Because what God are you serving that you think it's okay to treat people like shit or to embarrass them or to make them feel unwanted or to make, who are you serving? And if that's a God that you're serving that's letting you do all that, I don't want no parts of that because you're a shitty person. Like you don't have to do that in order to serve God. Like God ain't if your God is telling you to be ugly to people, or what God are you serving that's telling you to burn crosses in front of folks' house, scare their children, rape their women? Who are you serving? Because whoever you serving, I don't want a part of that shit because it can't be anything good to come out of there. You got to be going to hell behind that. Like it can't be okay. And if that's okay with the God you're serving, then we have problems. And I think a lot of times people want to use religion as a way to have bad behavior. Like, yeah. Well, my Bible say this, or I think that, okay, you can keep that to yourself and you don't have to agree with it. You don't have to be around it, but to cause harm to somebody because of something that you believe, that's, to me, like that's a bigger injustice than anything else, to do that to somebody else. Like we should have compassion. And right now we have no tolerance for anything that's different, be it black, be it white, be it gay, like we feel like we can just say what the fuck ever to people and then get indignant when they cuss us out. Like, how dare you talk shit to me after I just said all the shit I done said to you? Just right. Like that guy, that white guy, I don't know if y'all saw, that got his shit slapped out of him.
Oh yeah.
The restaurant by that black guy.
Yeah.
You ain't seen that,
the hell out of him.
Oh, I'ma see it. This white guy said, his white guy was like, it's a difference between black and a nigga. And this, I don't know how, this black guy he looked like he was in his 30s. So he was slapping the shit out of him. Slapping him. Somebody don't say that shit again. He left that white man alone. He left that white man alone, and that white man said that shit again. That black man came back and he slapped him off his feet.
But did you know the way he flipped his hat at the end?
Yeah, I saw that shit.
Yeah, he slapped the shit out. I was sending it to you, Kanara, when I found it.
I saw that shit. That shit funny as hell.
That boy slapped the shit out of him.
We got 1:22 left. Alicia, when we get back on his shut at, so I can check that out.
I'm about to look for it now.
Okay.
That shit funny as hell.
This my last one. I gotta be at work at 7.
All right. I hear that. I know you gotta get up early, understandable, and that's cool. I can dig that. You know,
Alicia, I know you got this.
we gonna
Why
be
y'all
good.
be acting
all
like I'm a
by
tyrant or
herself.
something?
Because we didn't did.
Oh, ain't nobody talking about you tyrant.
Y'all be acting like I'm a tyrant. You talking about
No,
Alicia over here now.
no, you a confident black woman.
Don't be trying to butter me up, Will.
Don't be
You
mad.
say you like people butter you up.
You did. You did.
She did say that. She liked that. That's why she blushing. She loved it.
I ain't got no time for y'all today. I ain't got no time for y'all black men today.
I was thinking, okay, because it's gonna cut off in a minute, so I want to start with that video.
I'm looking for it now.
Okay.
That shit funny.
Gonna cut off for y'all. Know I'll send a link. Same shit we do every time. But yeah, I'm gonna get this presentation together one day, y'all, and I'm gonna put it in the video, and it's gonna be dope because it's a lot of shit between Christmas and between Christianity and